Greetings, I'm Chef Eduardo Jordan. When we think about Seattle, we think about sockeye salmon, breathtaking hiking trails, the bounty of apples, wine regions, and handmade pastas. We often think about the bounty of cherries, foraging for mushrooms and wild berries, to the magnificent dairy farmers producing world-class cheeses. But what we often overlook is our beautiful minority-owned restaurants that are sprinkled around Seattle, which are the fabric of our communities. Here in Seattle, without these establishments, which bring so much character to our neighborhoods, Seattle will be a city without soul. In 2020, the Soul of Seattle was created to recognize and support restaurants, shops, and cafes by Black business owners. With our inaugural event, we raised over $260,000 to support the businesses that create the fabric of our community, with proceeds going to organizations that empower, support, and engage with youth of color. We are excited to continue with our second annual, now virtual, Soul of Seattle, recognizing the chefs and restaurants that are the heart of our communities. This year, we have partnered with Northwest Harvest to bring Soul of Seattle to life, an organization whose goal is to end food insecurities in the state of Washington by bringing accessible, nutritious food and promoting good health in equitable ways. Over the course of the next 4 Fridays, we will showcase some of the most amazing chefs through cooking demonstrations, panel discussions, dinners, and a DJ dance party filled with giveaways, auctions, and more. This year's event is focused on fully supporting the faces behind the Soul of Seattle, as a large portion of your contributions will go directly to our participating Black chefs and Black-owned restaurants. This year, we are excited to announce proceeds from Soul of Seattle will benefit MUST, Mentoring Urban Students and Teens, a local nonprofit dedicated to serve as a positive catalyst. With your support, we will be giving directly back to our community and help those who need our greatest support during this time of need. I am fully committed to supporting my industry, my community, and my fellow Black small business owners. So please join me in celebrating the Soul of Seattle. Without further ado, the 2021 Soul of Seattle calendar of events. Good evening, everyone. I am Chef Eduardo Jordan. I am the founder of the Soul of Seattle. And I would like to welcome you guys to our second annual, now virtual, Soul of Seattle. We have a stellar program put together for you guys this evening, featuring some amazing chefs and restaurants. Chef Trey Lamont of Jerk Shack, Chef Kristi Brown of Communion, and Chef Wayne Johnson of Farestart. But before we jump into our programming this evening, we have to give a big thank you to our amazing sponsors, and mainly our key sponsors that have put in so much energy and time and financial contributions to make this possible. I would like to thank and start off with thanking the Satterberg Foundation for their support, the Schultz Family Foundation, BECU, and Amazon. Thank you for contributing so much to make these programs happening. Also, thank you to all of our other sponsors that supported our programming and our events this month to make them possible, and I appreciate you guys. Please check out our website, theseattlesoul.com, to find out more information about our sponsors. And thank you to everyone who is at home tuning in this evening. Without your support, this event would not be happening, and the support of these amazing restaurants and chefs would not happen without you guys. So I appreciate everything that you guys are doing and all the efforts that everyone has made to make this event and this entire month possible. Your contribution will be supporting BIPOC community here in Seattle. So, I created the Soul of Seattle last year, at least our inaugural event was started last year, and the whole point was to bring our community together, bring awareness, and also support our Black restaurant and businesses. And so, what I wanted to do is also directly impact youth of color here in Seattle. So your support this evening and the support of our sponsors will be going to, the proceeds from this event and this month will be going towards MUST, Mentoring Urban Students and Teens. MUST was created as a nonprofit organization that uses mentorship as an economic and value opportunity for youth. So I'm going to take a minute to introduce you guys to Kelvin Washington Jr., the Executive Director of MUST.
My name is Kelvin Washington Jr. I'm the Executive Director of Mentoring Urban Students and Teens. Most people know it as MUST. The mission of MUST is very unique. We have a 3-layer system. It starts off with the youth starting off in the 8th grade, entering the 9th grade. We call that the mentee. The mentee is a young African-American man who's in the Seattle Public Schools who's having a difficult time navigating life. The next layer is the mentor, an African-American male that is in college who wants to give back to the community and help with these young men that are in high school. Our 3rd layer of our model is the coach. Every mentor has a professional coach who is dialed into the reality of what they want to be beyond the work that they're doing now. Some want to be doctors, we connect them with a coach who's a doctor. Others that want to be teachers, we connect them with teachers. Our coaches really allow us to live out our mission. Our mission here at MUST is to develop young black men from the hardest soil. My personal mission is simple: serving to save. I truly believe my mission and MUST mission combined together can truly impact the greater Seattle, not only for now, but for years to come. The soul of Seattle to MUST is hope. Every week we take our guys out to eat. We understand that community is based around the things that we put in our body and the time that we share with each other. So working with the soul of Seattle is a blessing because it lets us remind our youth the importance of food, the things that they put in their body, and that is essential to being who they are. The funds from the soul of Seattle will impact MUST not only for the next year, but for the next 4 years. It will allow us to grow 4 new cohorts in the Seattle Public Schools and the Rainier Valley community. My name is Kelvin Washington Jr., and I am the soul of Seattle.
All right, so your support this evening and throughout the month will go a long way with helping Black-owned restaurants and youth of color in our community. So thank you guys for tuning in, ordering takeout, and also supporting our cause. So without further ado, and what you guys all been waiting for, I would like to present to you your host for this evening's Soul of Seattle, Chef Wayne Johnson of Farestart.
When you work in the kitchen, if you want to survive, you better understand mise en place, French put all your mess in place. It's the pre-work. You have everything in your place. You have enough of everything. You know what you're doing. You're conserving energy, less steps, less thoughts. Everything is set. I'm Wayne Johnson. I'm the Senior Advisor of Culinary and Community Engagement at Farestart. Getting into food, I didn't realize I was like the only kid like hanging out in the kitchen while the rest of them were like playing gaming in the rooms. So I really started getting into cooking, worked with a couple really cool guys out in New York, and I learned so much. We were taking a tomato. With that tomato, we were actually making a lasagna sauce. We were making pizza sauce. We were doing salads. I mean, we were doing so much, and I'm like, this is just a tomato. But if I can do this many things with a tomato, all of a sudden the chemistry and the science of culinary started popping in my head. I became really interested in how many different things can we do with so many different ingredients. Matter of fact, I made a pledge that if I can never make another recipe for a chicken dish, I would quit culinary. Well, 40-some plus years later, I'm still cooking. There's so many recipes to be made, so many ingredients, so many cultures to bring together. I came to Seattle in 1999, got a call from a friend out here. He said, hey, what do you think about Seattle? I go, well, I wasn't thinking about Seattle. Come on out, hang out for a little bit. It made me feel so good about coming out here was the chefs would collaborate. They would raise and rise each other up. And I just thought, oh my God, this place is gonna just boom with some of the greatest restaurants. When I was first introduced to Farestart, I just became heartfelt about the mission and what was happening in that building. Yes, it was small at the time, but it was just as impactful. I learned about transforming lives pretty quickly, going in there and actually hands-on with people who had a passion to get out of what they were doing. They made up their minds that it's time for me to try something different. And this is a platform where I can transform my life. Farestart is a culinary training program. It's amazing to watch students find their path, but you have to realize Farestart is the institution. It's the actual student, it's the actual person that has made that decision, that commitment. And that commitment started the day they walked into Farestart. The spark happens through the system, the mise en place, the mental organization in the mind, and how what I studied in the classroom and what I'm doing on the line all comes together, and you just see these eyes open up, and it's like, oh my God, I got this, chef, I got this. It's the thing that makes our heart just like, oh my God, this is cool. They're gonna make it. And not only they're gonna make it, but when they go into somebody else's kitchen with that kind of attitude, that kind of feeling, that kind of drive, it changes the whole aspect of that kitchen line. Transforming lives, disrupting poverty, and changing communities. That has been the tagline for ever and ever. I love creating a platform to allow that to happen. I think it's pretty amazing what we've done at Farestart, but we were able to actually pivot when the pandemic happened and realize we're gonna have to feed a whole lot of people. We are equipped to do that. We can close our catering kitchens, we can close our cafes, we can close our restaurant kitchens, and we can turn it all into emergency feeding, and we probably could do up to 10,000 meals a day. To date, since the pandemic, 2 million emergency meals have gone out to the city and county of Seattle out of our 4 little kitchens. I mean, my hope would be, how can we make sure that everybody can get wholesome, good food? I don't care if you're in a shelter or if you're in the presidential suite somewhere, you're getting grade AAA chicken breast. That would be the hope, that we can get the quality, get it right. Hello and welcome. I am Chef Wayne Johnson. I'm your host for tonight, and this is going to be an amazing show in your home. I'd be a little bit remiss if I didn't take a moment to say we have some major chefs that have allowed us to do this. But first of all, we're going to work with a local chef today, one of my best friends, Chef Trey Lamont from Jerk Shack. He's going to be cooking up some seafood fritters. Let's take a moment and learn at home about my best friend, my great friend, my chef, Trey Lamont.
When you peek out of that past window and you see someone take a bite of your food for the first time, you can read their lips, and when they go, wow, when you see that on their face, that's the best part. A lot of people don't realize that being a chef is the most selfish and unselfish thing that you could do. You live to create dishes that make people happy. The selfish part is you get instant gratification right away if you do your job right. My name is Trey Lamont. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I'm the chef and owner of the Jerk Shack. Always do something that makes you happy no matter how tired you're going to be. I realized that I wasn't going to be happy until I got to do what I really wanted to do, and that was have my own restaurant. I told my friends to say, hey, do you guys love when I'm cooking for you guys? Do you guys want to invest and open up a food truck or something? And those friends said, hell yeah, that's a no-brainer. But we got to be in that industry for about 9 years as a food truck. If you have never been to the Jerk Shack, when you walk in the door, the first thing you're going to experience is probably the warmth of the atmosphere. You're going to feel the spirit of the African diaspora. You're going to smell good food right away because our food is very aromatic, and you're going to hear music that makes you feel good. You're going to go, whoa, this place is hopping. Caribbean food is a representation of my culture. I am a descendant of slaves here in the United States in my family as well. If you do the research, the true Southern cooking, true Southern food is south of the South, and that's in the Caribbean because the first slaves came through that area first. Being born and raised here in Seattle, you don't get a lot of Caribbean flavors. It was a no-brainer for me. It just made sense to do Caribbean food because it was the food that I craved. The significance to the location of the Jerk Shack is important to Seattle due to the fact that we are the only 100% Black-owned restaurant in downtown Seattle. It's kind of depressing. We need to stay there because without us, then what? Jerk Shack is trying to change that, but representation matters. You have to look at the next generation. If the next generation does not see itself in those positions of ownership, then what's going to happen next? They're going to say, I don't have an example of someone that looks like me doing that, so I don't believe that I can do that. This country is supposed to be the country of opportunity, seeing yourself, being able to do anything. But it has to start with an idea and action. When a community can see itself being represented, we will help it survive. When you are proud of something, then you don't want that to go away. My wall here at the Jerk Shack is important to me because as a whole, you're not gonna see too many walls with Black faces on them. I wanted to make sure that we represented our leaders and ancestors and influences and the culture that's important to me. On the very end, I have some family members that have been taken away with gun violence. My youngest brother, who was taken away right when the pandemic started, he was robbed and his jewelry was taken, his money was taken from him. A lot of the killings over small things such as money and jewelry and stuff, you'll see that because of desperation. When people are desperate, they, if they see any kind of fortune or wealth, they're willing to risk their lives and other people's lives to have a taste of it. And I think if we create job opportunity and generational wealth for young people in Black and brown communities, then we bring down that percentage. Currently, I have a land fund to buy land in traditionally Black and brown neighborhoods. When Jerk Shack is allowed to buy the land in those neighborhoods, we're going to take 49% of that land and give it back to the community as a buyback program at a discounted rate. Ownership equals representation. Representation trickles down to representation in other affairs and other aspects of that neighborhood. If you don't own it, how can you be represented? Being born and raised here in Seattle, I am very proud to be from here because of the diversity that we do have. In Seattle, you can get anything. I don't know how to explain it. It is who you are. It's in your DNA. You're from here, you're proud of here, and I don't think I'm going anywhere. My future goal for Jerk Shack and myself are to have more Jerk Shacks around the Pacific Northwest, but also spreading down the whole West Coast. People, they like good food, they love great flavors. And if I can get that going and say, hey, we are here and we are representing this type of food, come check us out, because like we talked about earlier, representation matters. You need to get here. And once you try it, then you're gonna be on board like the rest of them.
Chef,
Yes,
it's
Chef.
great to have you here in the kitchen, man.
Man, it's a pleasure to be here.
It's been a while. I've kind of watched your story. You had a great intro, but I mean, I think people want to like get to the food. What are you gonna be doing tonight?
Oh man, tonight we're gonna be doing a Caribbean seafood fritter, and with a Caribbean tartar. You know, everything from scratch. We will be making our own pickles. I'm gonna do a demo on a pickle that you want to put in your tartar. But you know, other than that, we're gonna get to the seafood fritter as well. So
I like that. I like that.
I think first, I want to start getting the pickling liquid ready for the pickle.
Okay.
So first we're gonna add, we have some water going here, and we're going to add some vinegar as well, but I'm gonna turn that heat up a little bit more.
Now, so when you do your pickles, is this
Yes,
like
sir.
a normal straight pickling solution? Is this a basic?
It's very basic. You know, you have your vinegar, your acid, your water, and then in this, you know, we have some Caribbean spices in here with some garlic and some ginger and some bay leaf and allspice.
Caribbean spices, is
Yeah,
that a
so-
secret? What?
No, it's not a
All right,
secret. You know, it's
just
you know,
checking, man.
I don't think it's a secret from you. You know, but we will make sure that you know it's seasoned well. See, that's what I say about that's what I mean by Caribbean spices. Allspice is such a huge component in Caribbean cooking, and you know if you're from the Caribbean, it's going to be called pimento. You know, so that's what we are getting flavor into that pickling solution.
So not necessarily heat, but the actual pepper aspect of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, there's no pepper aspect to that allspice, but the heat, if you wanted heat, normally I do put chili peppers in there, usually some Thai chilies or something like that. But we're gonna have plenty of chili. You know, we got
there you go.
know, we got the.
I knew it had to be around.
Yeah, we're gonna have plenty of chili in there in the fritter. So as that solution heats up, we're gonna get the cucumber ready for that. We have some, you know, small Japanese cucumbers here that we're gonna get.
So you like the smaller Japanese cucumbers for this?
Yes, they have a great crunch to them and, you know, great flavors, great freshness to them. So I'm just gonna cut these in half, and then we're just gonna put them in a container here, in a glass. So if you are pickling, oh, let's just go. These kind of small. So
There you go, Chef.
no, I only.
You good? Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. So if you're pickling, the minimum time that you need to let these pickle is 2 days. 2 days in the refrigerator after you've sealed them and just pickle. But the longer that you let them pickle, the better the flavor you're gonna get out of them.
I was about to say, everybody's out there probably going, how long can I keep it once it's pickled?
Man, as long as, man, you can keep it for a long time. Just make sure that your glasses are sterile and your solution doesn't have anything that's gonna like go bad in there. You know,
Man,
you know,
Chef, I'm getting that like whiff of that.
You can
way
smell
over
that,
here.
right?
Oh yeah.
So let's get that a little bit hotter, and then let's see if I have a ladle down here somewhere. Actually, I have one right here. And it's a quick pickle. I mean, it's nothing to it. It has some dill in there. Like I said, the garlic, the ginger, the allspice. Let's see. Did you want to taste some of that?
I have a feeling everybody's going to be, I'm going in, Chef.
Okay. It's going to be salty. It's going to be briny and stuff, but that's what you want in your pickle.
Oh man. That's kicking.
Yeah, it's a quick pickle. It's nothing to it. If you wanted it to be sweet, you can make it sweet, and you could add sugar to it. I don't want to add sugar to mine, but if you want, you can look and see that fresh cucumber in there, and let that.
I think, in my mind, the quickness of this, everybody should just have one of these in their fridge all the time.
Correct, man. Look, these will not last. You can use these for po' boy sandwiches, anything. Like, you can make it happen with a great pickle. So let's wipe that down. Let's put that bay leaf in there. There we go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my protein ready for these fritters. I'm going to get this shrimp, and I brought some blue crab. You know, you had mentioned that earlier.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, Chef, you got some blue crab there.
Man, you know, we got to make it happen. You know, we're in the Pacific Northwest, but the Dungeness is king here, and we want to make sure that we represent in, you know, the Caribbean, Atlantic waters and stuff like that, because, you know, we are Caribbean food. So we have some white shrimp, some white Gulf shrimp from the waters of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to rough chop these.
Okay, because you got a fritter.
Exactly.
And what you want is for the seafood to talk in that fritter. You don't want to lose it, right?
Correct. You do not want to have it all bready. So when we make this fritter batter, it's not necessarily a batter that you would normally be used to seeing, where it would be like super liquidy. It's going to be more of just the binder.
Okay.
Right?
Got it? Yep.
Without using breadcrumbs, but we are going to use some flour.
And I think there's a couple of number of recipes, but you're going with all-purpose flour, is that correct?
Correct. All-purpose flour has, you know, everyone usually, most people at home, you will have all-purpose flour. So you can use all-purpose flour. It's going to have your baking soda, baking powder in there, your leaveners that you're going to need to create this dish.
So just keep a bag of all-purpose flour, and you're good to go.
So yes, sir. I mean, you probably already have it in your pantry and don't even touch it. So we're gonna put our aromatics in there. We're gonna get that Holy Trinity in there. So we're gonna get the bell pepper in there, and I'm going to use partial of this bell pepper because I want to use 2 different colors, because in the Caribbean you got color, right? And that's what we are. We are people of color.
There you go.
Right? We, at my restaurant we on every receipt you receive is going to say food with melanin, and this is exactly what it is, food with melanin.
So I just want to be clear for the folks. You have a red and an orange pepper. You said bell pepper. Could it be green or yellow?
It could definitely be green or yellow. They are all the same pepper, but just picked at different times of their life, right?
That's right.
And different flavor, but the same pepper. And you can definitely do that. And we're gonna small dice this so that you get pops of color throughout this fritter.
I'm watching them nice
flavor.
skills, Chef.
Oh, well, they're all right. They're not as good as yours. I'm not an instructor, at Farestart,
You see I got no knives, but I'm just here. I'm watching, man. I'm like in awe.
Oh, man, shoot. That means a lot to me. You're an instructor.
I had an opportunity to watch you in your kitchen.
Always wipe down.
You guys got it down. I love watching you and your staff. You talk about training. You do a really good job mentoring and training in your kitchen.
Well, we try. If you're not teaching, the way that you want it to be done, then it's not going to be done the correct way, right?
So let's just do a recap real quick. So we have in there the blue crab.
Yes, sir.
We got the shrimp.
Yes, sir.
We got the 2 kinds of bell pepper. We got the orange and the red.
Yes, sir.
Which I think is a little sweeter than the green. So I think it's going to be nice with that seafood.
It's going to be balanced. Balance is very important, right?
Now what are we working on here?
So we have the white onion. The onion is part of that Trinity. And I don't
try that
dice it really small, super small, like going the opposite way. I just start cutting it because there's layers of the onion. So it just makes sense to just cut it right away because you have all It's all separated already. So why waste that time, right?
Giving us a little bit of knife skills training tonight. We're getting it all, man.
Hey, you guys said once that red light come on, you're kicking me off. So I'm trying to, make sure that I have enough time to do everything that's necessary, right?
We got you, Chef.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get to that celery. Celery gives great crunch and great flavor, great fresh flavor, right? So we're gonna cut these ribs down, just down the middle, half these. Using the tip of the knife there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I kind of love the aspect. I'm looking at, again, you said the colors. I'm looking at the bowl as you're starting to create this. Mm-hmm. Almost like I'm heading to the Caribbean right now.
Man, you are, man. It's the food of the sun, food with melanin. We are people of color, and so is our food. Our food has lots of color to it, and what do they say in the hood when it's popping and you're popping? They say you got flavor, right?
That's it.
Hey man, we got flavor.
So I still have a question in my head about this spice.
Yes, sir.
What's the basis of that? You don't have to give me all the ingredients.
Of our jerk spice or the pickling spice?
The jerk spice.
Oh, jerk spice. Jerk spice has to have pimento, as we spoke of earlier. It has to have Scotch bonnet or habanero if you're here in the United States. It's not easy to get Scotch bonnet peppers here, but you can get them. Shout out to the urban farmer at the Pike Place Market. You can get some from him. He's amazing. Oh, excuse me, made a mess. He's an amazing farmer, and it has to have fresh thyme or dry thyme. To each his own. When you have fresh thyme, beautiful fresh thyme like this, the stems are so soft to where you can just straight chop it up.
Just chop it up.
Just chop it up. No need to pull it off, right?
No way, chef. Use everything.
Use every bit. We chefs hate waste, right?
That's right.
So just go ahead and chop it up. It has to have fresh thyme. It has to have some. So you got thyme, garlic, allspice, and peppers and thyme, fresh thyme. Fresh thyme. I'm gonna pop this chili in my oil here, and let that kind of like bathe in that right now.
So we have a little bit of oil sitting here.
Yeah. It's
probably at about 350 degrees.
Yeah. So it's gonna bubble up.
And it's just gonna bubble up that skin. Cook it. It's just gonna come off, right?
Well, I'm not trying to get the skin to come off. I'm flavoring the oil. I'm actually just flavoring the oil. I'm putting that thyme in there. Bam! Like Emerald used to say.
So we got a little thyme in there. We got some peppers going on in there.
And then I'm gonna get some garlic in here. I'm gonna push that clove down, pop these off.
Look at Chef lifting up these flavors. This is amazing. I was thinking about this. I'm back on the spice rub, man. I ain't done yet.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna keep the skins on these this garlic.
Skins
on. Put it right up in there, right?
Did you crush that a little bit, or just the whole clove?
I just pushed the clove down. The bulb, so that I could get the cloves loose, so that I can use them. But just to flavor that oil.
I'm starting to get a little bit of that coming off the oil now. Yeah. Do your little temp check here, Chef. Let's see where we're at.
If it needs to come down, please turn that down a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna go down a little bit. We're almost at 400, so I'm gonna come down a little bit.
I could tell. It's by that way that pepper is cooking.
So if you have hot oil, you're doing it on your stove, you want to keep a thermometer. You want to keep that around 350, 360. If not, take the heat down a little bit.
Right. See, at the restaurant, we have the fancy tools of having a thermometer or just having a fryer and being able to set it at a specific time, a specific temp. But if you're at home, I'm going to take that pepper out. It's blistering up. It's not cooked all the way through, but it's giving enough flavor.
It's got flavor.
It's got enough flavor. But if you don't have a thermometer, you can use a wooden chopstick, put it at the bottom of that pot, and if there's bubbles bubbling up around that, go ahead and it's ready to go.
So there you go. And if you do have a home fryer, set it at 350.
Exactly. So We got that garlic going. I'm just gonna crush this. So I love big cleaver knife because you can chop, crush, scoop.
I was thinking about that cleaver knife. I'm like,
This is a Chinese chef knife right here.
he's using that for everything.
Yeah, it's the best thing for me. When I was growing up, I grew up in Seattle, born and raised, and I went to Garfield High School. And before graduation, I studied at the Wild Ginger and the Triple Door during my weekends.
Okay, yeah.
And I got to learn from a lot of Chinese chefs, so I had to. Oh, this is the jerk spice.
This is the jerk spice.
This is that jerk. You know, smell that.
Good try. Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we toast our own seeds and grind our own spices at the Jerk Shack and make our own jerk spice.
So if they want that,
They can go and buy it.
they can go
You
buy
can
it.
go buy it at the restaurant.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go to the restaurant, pick it right up.
All right. One thing I'm forgetting is some fresh ginger. So we're gonna peel with the back of my knife.
And that way, you don't lose a lot of your ginger.
Exactly. You don't want to waste any parts, right? So
I've seen it done with the back of the knife. I've seen it done with a spoon.
Yep.
Just to get that skin off.
Yes, sir. You know, I've seen people do it with peelers, and then they're digging into that ginger, and you're like, wait, I just spent a whole lot of money on that ginger.
A whole lot of money on that ginger, and I got half.
Yeah. So just go ahead and use the back of your knife and clean that skin up. And if you wash your ginger really, really good, you can just use that skin. It's really thin. So, you know, you don't have to take the skin off if you don't want to.
It is a pretty thin skin on there, right?
Yeah, correct. I mean, if you're making a sauce and you're blending everything up and stuff like that, and you're blending that ginger, go ahead and keep that skin on.
Chef, I've actually seen people use a mandolin and not skin it and just grate it right into their dish.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen that before.
So a couple of different ways to do that, but
It's more the one way to skin a
I love
cat.
the way you just took the skin off of that and like chopped it up real fast.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's get this garlic out of there and that thyme out of there.
So our oilless flavor, we're pulling the thyme, pulling the garlic out of there.
So in
I'll do another temp check for you, Chef.
Thank you. In our tradition of cooking, meaning, you know, people of the diaspora, people with melanin, we always say season your food. We always season our food tremendously, right? And you can't just season the food. You got to season the oil. You got to season everything. We season everything. So
I'm loving this aspect of layers of flavor
Yes.
that keep happening here.
So we're gonna hit some salt and pepper in here.
It's like you just said salt, and the front of my tongue kind of tickled a little bit. When I was smelling this right here, I was getting some of that vinegar in the back of my. So I love the fact that we're actually like turning our taste buds like into a playground.
Right? So with one of these cups, I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this mixture.
Okay.
After I add some flour to this mixture. So let me mix this first.
Yeah, is the water just gonna kind of loosen it up a little bit?
The water is gonna allow that flour to bind to the seafood.
Nice, okay.
A little bit, you know, to make that batter, but not have it be a batter, right? Because we want the seafood
Batter, but not really a batter.
Exactly. I don't know what you call it. It's still called a batter, but, you know.
It's just gonna come together. It's gonna hold it together.
Exactly. It's gonna be a binder. So that's what we're just gonna call it, because we don't want a batter.
So tell me a little bit. I know you've done this mentoring and you're trying to bring these young folks up. You talked a little bit about the Jerk Shack too. What's the whole thought behind that? That bringing you're going into the south side. You're going where the need is.
Right. Our community definitely needs not just a restaurant, but businesses that support the community and the community supporting itself, because we need to see ourselves, right?
And if the community if they have ownership, I'm gonna add some of this water.
Okay, we're watching. A little water.
If the community believes it has ownership, then it will always forever thrive, right?
That's awesome. That's awesome that you look at that, and I'm glad you cleared that up for me, because I was thinking you're trying to like mentor up all these young kids to do some Caribbean flavors and cuisine, so you could like retire.
No, it's not about that for me. I want to actually give back to the community. So with the land fund that I have, 49% of the land that is purchased by the Jerk Shack, 49% of that land will go back to the community members in a buyback program, so that the community actually owns that land, not me.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's awesome. What do you need, Chef? What do you got?
So what I want to do is start working on this tartar sauce here. Now, I did some pickles earlier ahead of time. What's that temp coming to?
Okay, we're sitting at about 440 right now.
Okay, all right.
It's coming down.
It's coming down. So we are bringing it down a little bit. So I'm going to get on this pickle here. I'm going to cut it up and make a relish.
So these are now, they've been pickled for what, a couple days?
Yeah, about that. They're going to still have a nice fresh taste to them. So they're not going to be like super pickly, but you're going to still get that crunch. And that's what's important to me.
So as you make this here, I guess it's a tartar. It's pickled, right?
Yes.
So
I mean, when you eat a tartar sauce, you have relish in there, right? You have pickles in there.
now I actually like that. I've had the sweet pickles, but this here it's just kicking flavor.
Right.
That cucumber just picked up all that flavor.
So I'm gonna get some mayonnaise in there.
Do the mayo.
Yes,
okay.
sir. Now, what makes it Caribbean is we're hitting it with that jerk spice.
Get
Right.
that jerk spice.
Right? And then we're gonna get it with some chipotle, chipotle smoked jalapeno, and we're gonna get the adobo sauce that the chipotle pepper makes, by being canned, right? And then we're gonna get some.
So is it naturally like liquefied like that? You're just adding it to the mayo?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's gonna give lots of kick, but it also gives amazing color, right?
So we got a couple tablespoons of the pickles in there. We got probably a quarter cup of mayo. And it looks like maybe 2 tablespoons of that chipotle.
Right. So we're gonna get this garlic in there. I need to know how much time we got left, because I don't want to make. I don't want to.
You're good, Chef. I think you're good.
And I'm gonna put some celery in there for a little more crunch, a little more freshness, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then to loosen that up and get some acid to it, we're gonna hit it with that lemon.
Great. So we're looking at about 10 to 12 minutes. I think
We're
in
doing
good
great.
shape, Chef. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, I love this. Even though we're calling it a tartar, we want to make sure that everybody understands it's a Caribbean tartar.
Yes, correct. But this tartar goes really good on everything. So we're gonna season this tartar with some pepper, some fresh black pepper, boom, and a little salt. Season as we go, right? Okay.
So did you actually
Whisk that.
grow up on this?
I did not grow up on this, no.
Okay.
But what I did grow up eating is traditional Southern food from my grandma, my big mama, out of Texas on my mom's side. But whenever visiting family on the East Coast and the Caribbean on my dad's side, because my dad raised me, but my mom's family's here on the West Coast.
So you
Got to, yeah, I was very lucky. And then when I came back to the West Coast, just didn't get a chance to have good Caribbean food representation. It was very frustrating. So you know, you learn how to make it.
So that whole cultural aspect of the Southern and the Caribbean, and now you just, because they both carry a lot of flavor, right?
Yes, sir.
And it looks like what you're doing here is just building and building. Look at the
I only have
flavor.
one spoon over there, so we'll let you taste that.
All right, I'm gonna taste that. Oh yeah.
You know, for a fritter, you know,
Quick, fast, easy.
has a little kick to it, right? Has the acidity.
So again, just a little bit of garlic. We got in there the chipotle sauce,
sir.
the mayo, and we have those pickles.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a really flavor. I could see putting that on a lot of things.
Oh man, it goes crazy for like football games. You got your po' boy sandwiches going.
That whole poor boy thing you're talking about?
Yep. So
So we're gonna go into this oil.
yeah, we can test it as well. So I have this little small tiny scoop here, and go ahead, please test that for me.
So Chef, we're still a little hot. We're at 400, so I think you're.
I think we're
I think
okay
it
if we
gets a
pay
nice
attention
crispy on
to
the
it.
outside.
Yeah, we pay
Yeah.
attention to it. It'll be fine. It's not super bready, and it doesn't have a lot of flour in it, so it's not gonna be doughy if it cooks pretty quickly. I have a slotted
You have a
spoon
slotted
here,
spoon?
right
Okay.
here, sir. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop this in.
And
Bam.
And notice that's a small scoop, so you don't want a big. You want to be able to make sure it's cooking through the middle, right?
Correct.
So don't use a big old scoop and drop that in there. Nice small. They're gonna puff up a little bit.
Just a little bit. Oh yeah, beautiful. Beautiful
gorgeous.
color to it.
Yep. And even though, Chef, I said this is 400, as you're putting that in there, you're
drop
pulling
it.
that oil down pretty quickly.
Yeah. Remember, this oil is seasoned as well. But
Little
the water,
garlic, little thyme,
yeah.
and you put the pepper in there.
Uh-huh. The water from the peppers and stuff and the vegetables that are in there are going to release in that oil, and that's gonna create the bubbles to, dance a little bit. But, let's see, golden brown and delicious.
Look at that. What?
It shouldn't take that long for them to finish up. In the Caribbean, you will put conch in there.
Man, the first time I had conch, man, I was blown away.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it, how they actually process it was pretty incredible.
That shell, man.
That
Every
shell.
time I go to the East Coast or to the Caribbean and stuff, I always have to find a conch for my father because he makes instruments out of them. He's a percussionist, and he blows them.
Quick, fast, in a hurry.
Very quick, very fast, and we ain't wasting no time. So let's get that going. Oh, let me move. Can you hold this, please?
Chef, yep.
Thank you. I'm gonna move this whole thing here.
So now, these pickles that are pickling,
Yes,
once
sir.
they're cool, you're just gonna cover them and chill them? They go into the fridge, or you put them on the shelf?
You are going to cover them. Once they chill, you're gonna put the lid on them, make sure they're sterilized, and then put them right in the fridge.
Just put them
right in the fridge.
And you're good.
Yes, sir. So, got these. Got the plate here. Let's see. Let me rinse this off so I can sauce my plate a little bit. Thank you, Chef. And you want to sauce your plate a little bit. And this is, like I said, this is just a little appetizer. You can do this for a holiday.
So, quick little recap.
I
this is
forgot
our
to
shrimp.
season this a little bit with a little salt.
A little salt, okay. This is our shrimp and crab fritter, but you just said you can do it with conch. You can do it with a lot of other seafood.
Anything. If you don't like seafood, you can do it with chicken.
All right, I'm hearing you.
But just make sure you have your colors going and your flavors going. And let's see, I was gonna drizzle some of that on there.
Get a little drizzle on there. It looks good, Chef.
A little micro herbage. Little $7 plate, you know.
That's a beautiful plate.
Nothing crazy.
I'm saying.
Because, like I said, because we don't do a super thick batter or anything like that, you can eat these and know that it's not gonna be like pancake mix in the middle.
Yeah, right. And I love that we did the fritter and the appetizer. You know, I've looked at your menu. I know you got goat on there, and it's an amazing array from the Caribbean.
Yeah, we do it all. Like I said before, Southern cooking wouldn't be Southern cooking without it touchdowning in the Caribbean first. Our ancestors came to the Caribbean before they went to the southern parts of the United States, and they stayed there. If you go anywhere in the Caribbean, no matter if it's a Spanish-speaking country, we are a huge population, more than the United States.
Yes.
Right? And our people are everywhere. Our people are everywhere in the Caribbean and South America. And, you know, when I have friends that go and visit those countries and they go, man, I didn't know there's so many black people over there. You know, everyone's speaking Spanish to me, or they're speaking patois, or, you know, whatever native language. And I just look at them like, I don't speak that. And it's like, hey, you know, they don't know that because you look like their cousin.
Right.
You know, because we are cousins. We are family.
Cousins. Absolutely.
Would you like to try some?
I want to try it.
Oh, go ahead, please.
I'm looking at, like, can I just get in
Go,
there?
man, get in there with your hands. I think, you know, we got served by amazing Haitian chef today.
Oh, my gosh.
And
look at that, how just all that seafood locked in the middle. Oh, Chef.
Shrimp cooks quick.
All I can say, Chef, that is awesome. I want everybody, if you haven't been down there, you need to get down to the Jerk Shack like yesterday. This is amazing food. We need to support our black-owned restaurants. I mean, and with flavors like this, why wouldn't we be there every day if we could?
Well,
but this is amazing, and I appreciate it, Chef.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Chef.
you.
Chef Wayne.
Awesome job.
He's an OG. I've watched you since I was a young kid, you know, and it's a blessing to be next to you.
Thank you so much. We're going to stay tuned. We're going to go to Fred. He's our auctioneer. He's somewhere in, I think, Hood County eating...
Hood Canal.
Hood Canal, right? Eating
Yeah.
oysters.
Man, he's eating that good seafood, you know, Pacific Northwest.
Well, thank you, Chef. And hi, everyone from Hood Canal, Washington. Auctioneer Fred Northup Jr. here again with the Soul of Seattle. You know, it is hard to believe that we are halfway done with this amazing series. I've been reflecting on last week's conversation all week. I'm so grateful to everyone who is a part of this. So for you new folks just turning in, the Soul of Seattle has brand new items that have been up for bid all week, and they're closing down tonight at 9 p.m., so bid quickly. Next week, we'll have our final no-holds-barred auction with our final group of items, so bid now and check back next week too. Now, today I've got exciting news for you Seattle professional sports fans. Up for bid right now is not one, but 2 sports packages. I'm talking about Sounders FC package that includes 4 Nightfall Sounders jerseys, plus a team autograph pendant, and a Storm package that includes a signed jersey by Seattle sports legend Sue Bird. We called in some favors. We got something that most of us will never get to experience. You and 3 friends getting rooftop access to the Space Needle. The roof is not open to the public. You know what I'm talking about, right? The place where celebrities raise the flag at the very top. You will be there. And that's not all. I'm talking the full VIP treatment. After you head to the roof and take the best social media pictures ever, you get to head to the Loop Lounge for a tasting of your choice from their exclusive wine library. Paired with bites from executive chef Max George and views through the world's only revolving glass floor, Take your love of wine to new heights. Get your bids in now. It's closing down at 9 p.m. tonight. Head to the Soul of Seattle's page below to see what else they have this week, including a Sheraton stay, 2 more Alaska Airlines tickets good for anywhere they fly, including Hawaii, Mexico, Costa Rica, New York. Also, a quick reminder, you can make a 100% tax-deductible donation without bidding. Go to thesoulofseattle.com to donate now. All proceeds go straight to Black-owned businesses and Seattle local nonprofit mentoring urban students and teens, better known as MUST. Remember, your friends and family, they can bid too, so please post and share. Thank you for being here. Hello from Hood Canal. Keep on bidding. You've got until 9 p.m. tonight.
And now I'm going to have come to the kitchen Chef Kristi Brown. She is one of my most favorite, the queen of Pacific Northwest.
I'm definitely interested in challenging people because I think we all are way, way too comfortable. A lot of times the assumption is when you're a Black chef, you're making soul food. Dealing with people's disappointment around that and the expectation that they have, they want grandma's cooking. I'm welcoming you more into my home and what that looks like for me. It's been fun to kind of poke holes in it a little bit. As cooks, we get kind of pigeonholed into this one thing that we know and do well. I like bringing people over to my side. I'm Chef Kristi from Communion Restaurant and Bar and That Brown Girl Cooks. I've always loved food, like from the beginning. And when I was little, like I was super greedy. I was just like waiting for the food to be done. When I was 13, my dad was like, okay, you need to figure out what you want to do with your life. But I always knew that I was going to be a chef, and I knew that this was an industry I wanted to be in. It was just a matter of how to do it. I realized really early on that I wasn't a great employee. And so it was just like, okay, it's time to start doing some stuff on your own. And so I started That Brown Girl Catering in 1996. And then I started the hummus in 2012. That Brown Girl Cooks was birthed out of the hummus. The funny thing about Communion, it is not my spark, because my son Damon is my business partner, and he always wanted me to have a restaurant, but I always was really comfortable with catering, but everything just started opening up door after door and really made it happen. People need to understand that Communion is a calling. I definitely had a choice, but not really, because if you put something out there like that and you say, hey, if this and this happens, then I'm gonna do it, then you kind of gotta do it, you know, and it's worth it. It's been like really a Cinderella journey. I'm gonna shop in the neighborhood that I'm in. I've mostly only shopped in the Asian markets in Little Vietnam. That's where I've taken my lead with my cooking, and when I'm touched and moved by something that I eat, then I want to replicate it in some kind of way. We do a sandwich that's a po' boy mix with the banh mi. So we use the banh mi bread. We use the pickled vegetables from the bread. We use the pate, but then it's fried catfish, you know, and it's like, that's what home is for me. That's what Seattle Soul is for me. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with the idea of how much history was there before I got there. Liberty Bank was the first Black-owned credit union west of the Mississippi and the first one in Seattle. To secure that space and make sure that people were always going to know that history is super duper amazing. Being able to provide resources for each other is it's just a big deal. And knowing that we are looking to create legacy for our families and for our community that's going to be there. When a community owns the land, then they get to have a say in what goes down on the land. It's just significant to be able to give a community the ability to own the land so that they have a say in how things change inside their community. that I get to be a part of that history to provide a place for people is so much honor. Sometimes it's overwhelming. When you look at that, you look at the food, you look at the community, and then like one day, a little girl comes and knocks on the door and says, hey, how old do you have to be to come work here? That's because she sees a place where she feels accepted and welcomed enough to even ask a question. And that seems so insignificant to so many people, but it's just not. It's an interesting space to be able to be on all of these different sides as a family that lived in the Central District, as a business owned in the Central District that was displaced by gentrification, like then to be able to come back, you know, it's just a very, very never-ending story, which I'm super glad to be a part of. It was a wonderful article that came out this week in the New York Times that talked about how Black women chefs don't get a fair chance in fine dining. And it's about time that someone raised that awareness because we've known it all the time. It was just a confirmation of why we needed to do this thing, because to be in a position to be like a lead cook, because then you got all these different avenues for these guys to be able to climb, get training, and then take off. And that's one of my biggest hopes.
Welcome back. As promised, I am here with the Queen of the Pacific Northwest, Kristi Brown. Thank you so much for being here.
Man, you know, this is like going home, honestly. This is great.
This is us just in the kitchen. You know, we've been going way back kicking in the kitchen now. Come on now.
It's real. It's real. Man, I remember the first time you called me and you asked me to do a catering job for the Mayflower. And I was just like,
oh, yeah.
I was like, who, me? Like, who, chef, who? Like, I was like super nervous.
We've had some great times together. We're going to talk you through that a little bit more and what we got going on.
Yes.
But Chef, I know you're doing this gumbo. You got some Laos sausage, or what do you got? Chicken?
We're doing the chicken sausage. I don't have the Laotian sausage.
Oh, so we're doing the chicken.
But I have to shout out Vietien Grocery. They're on Martin Luther King off of Graham, and they have amazing sausage. So for those of you that had the sausage gumbo tonight, please patronize them. The sausage is amazing.
Amazing. Well, let's get into the gumbo. And gumbo, you want to talk a little? Well, let's just get into it.
We'll get into it. And I think what the perspective I'm coming from tonight is from the single cook. Because a lot of times people are always asking me like, well, I don't want to make all that food. It's just going to go to waste. And I know a lot of people are trying to get into meal prep and everything. So this is a great dish for something like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you know, I think you and me are like no waste. Completely no waste, right?
Use everything.
So this dish, I can break it down and like you can kind of meal prep it out to where maybe some parts of it you're using for the gumbo, but maybe some parts you're not. You're gonna save it for later. So let's get at it. Let's get at it. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start our stock. Now, of course, if you were gonna be doing this in real life, like the gumbo I made for tonight, that was a 3-day process, right? So
those y'all having that gumbo, 3-day process. I'm sure they're licking their lips. I mean, they're
right.
I'd be loving you.
It was. I'm gonna say it was pretty decent. I felt good about it. Thank you. Shout out to my TBGC crew. That Brown Girl Cooks. You guys rocked it out, and I love y'all. Thank you. Yes.
And you know, for me, when I did first meet, you said I did this. You did a catering for me, you know, at the Mayflower. But that's when you were like doing catering, and now you've transformed. You come around. You're doing restaurants. Now you're That Brown Girl Cooks.
Yes, I'm That Brown Girl Cooks. I'm Communion Restaurant and Bar. We're doing it. I mean, you taught me. We got to take advantage of all the things.
I'm watching you go. I'm like, shoot.
So what we're gonna do first? We got a pot. We got like a half a pot of boiling water. But if it was like at home, I'd do the whole pot. Right? Because I want as much stock as I can, because I'm going to take this stock, I'm going to use some of it for the gumbo, but the other half, I'm going to put it in the freezer, and I'm going to use it when I'm cooking rice. I'm going to use it to make some ramen, you know.
Tip number 1, make a big pot of stock, because you can save, you can freeze some, you can use it later.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, if you're gonna have all those bones and everything together anyway,
Right.
Why not?
Why not? Might as well use them. So right now, you know what, Chef? Can you grab me a pair of tongs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I put a half an onion on there. You can use yellow onion. You can use white onion. I don't use red onion for stocks too much because it kind of can make your stock bitter. So I got some onion on here.
Thank you.
I'm going to let it brown a little bit. And I just want that like smoky, roasty flavor on it. You want to flip that over
So we
for
just
me?
got this onion right on the burner.
Yeah, yeah. And
You
then you can do this at
flames.
home and you can put it on your electric burner. It doesn't matter. Like you're trying to get that color on
In
there.
the summertime, I can just throw it on the grill.
Yeah, sure. If
All
you got
right.
time like that.
You just try to burn it up then.
You know, man, you got to use it. So
Now,
then
Kristi, I heard though, but even if you get this thing totally black,
you're chilling. It's
you're just
okay.
getting color into your and
that
you don't even
nice-
taste, onions do not carry that burnt flavor.
No,
So
it
just
has
burn-
a nice roasty flavor.
This is the one time you can burn something up. Go ahead, burn
Exactly,
it.
exactly.
Burn it.
Then we got our garlic. We're just gonna take the whole head of garlic, and really all I'm gonna do is just separate it because I want like to get the flavor all the way through it, and then I'm just gonna pop it in the water with the skins on it.
There we go. Again, garlic in the water with the skin, and just a little smash. I mean, the flavor. We're flavoring again the stock, right?
because you know, like I love you, but you got me on this layers of flavor. Like years ago, we were doing something together, and you're like layers of flavor. I was like, right, you got to do it all the way through. You need to salt your stock. You need to. It's like every piece of the thing. You need to make sure that if you had it by itself, that you would still enjoy it.
You would still enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's a big deal. So like with these garlic peels, like you say, I did that for us because sometimes like I'll have old garlic. So that's a way to get rid of that old garlic. Or what I'll do is like say, if
There
I'm
she
gonna
goes, using everything up.
you gotta use it,
everything.
right? So what I do is, and y'all that know me, y'all know what I do. I take it, right, and I'm making garlic for something else at home, right? I use the garlic, and then I take the skins and I throw it in there. So what I do is I'll get a container, and then I just constantly have like old ends and that kind of stuff. I put it in the freezer, and then when I know I'm gonna make stock, then I pull it all out and throw it in the stock.
So wait a minute. You just take a little container, put it in your freezer, and then just start throwing little pieces and stock. And then when you make your stock, you just,
Yep, that's what I do.
there you go.
So
Tip
we're gonna
number
take
2.
it. We got parsley here. We're gonna throw some parsley up in here. We just
Got some
it's the
parsley
kitchen
going.
sink. Like it doesn't like with the stock thing. It's so cool. Like sometimes I'll do like if I do a lot of like lemons or I'll keep those peels too. Depending on what kind of sauce I'm making, I might be able to throw that in there and pull it out at the last minute. So
okay.
don't waste anything. That's looking pretty
We
good.
got a nice cooked onion. Is that going in too?
Yep, you're gonna throw that on in there. And then we're making gumbo. So like I'm with Trey. You got the Trinity, right? You gotta have your onions, you gotta have your garlic, you gotta have your celery, right?
That's right.
So I got
Get
this
the
whole
Trinity going.
Yep, I got the whole celery stalk going on. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the very, very end, but that like down part at the bottom, it's kind of woody. This is actually pretty juicy. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna cut it down.
And that's going to go.
I told you, I'm not messing around.
That's
I'm
the end.
using all of
It's
it.
going in there.
I am. So let's see, we got some nice fresh bay leaves from Trey's backyard. You know what we're saying? We're gonna use it all. We're gonna use it all.
Those are beautiful bay leaves, by the way.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I love them so much because it's like, I'm used to this, right? You know, we get in a restaurant, we get those big old containers of bay leaves. That is not the same thing, right?
Look at that.
That is not the same thing. There's nothing about that.
There's no life.
Yeah, exactly.
It's dry.
But don't be mad because everybody can't get the fresh bay leaves. You can take that.
If you can get it fresh, use it. If not,
If you can't, then work it out. That's what I'm saying.
work it out.
So we got that going, right? Let's see what. Oh, here's some more skins. Don't play around. All right.
Get it in there.
All right. So now here we go. We're gonna get the second thing started. So we're just gonna let that go. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt in there,
Little salt.
little pepper flakes. You can do, you know, put some stuff in there and just let it go. And so what I'll do is I'll put it on like late at night, and
Yeah.
I'll just let it go overnight.
Whoa.
Yeah. So at the restaurant, we have a dish called Ode to Pho. And I love pho. Like, I love Southeast Asian cooking, period. But, like, soup gets me. It gets me. So that's why we're doing the gumbo. I just love that broth, You got that nice calming feeling, no matter if it's hot or cold outside.
Well, even it seems like you only just put water and a few things in there, but I can start to smell.
You're getting it going.
Yeah, the onions and the bay leaf, and this is beautiful. So, a pot of water.
Yep.
You got your.
I'm gonna turn it down. Like if I'm at home,
yeah.
I'm gonna turn it down like on. If I have an electric stove in my house, so I put it on 2. But even at the restaurant, like I was saying, I had the old tafa. We put that big old pot on the stove. We leave it overnight. We let it go. Just let it go, because that's the only way you're gonna get that flavor in there, right?
I love it.
So
For those trying to stay with this stock, then we got the onions. This have been caramelized on the burner. We got the bay leaf. We got the end of the celery, so we can use it all. We got garlic with the skin on it. Just if you want a little smash, or otherwise just throw it all in there. And the skins, and then a little bit of parsley.
Yep.
And we're getting to a boil. Now you want to turn this down.
Turn it down just a little bit, and let it go.
There you go.
Now you're gonna fake like this is overnight, right? Like just fake like it.
It's simmering.
So the other thing we're gonna do is that we got this chicken, right? So we're making chicken gumbo, and what we're gonna do is like I said, we gotta use everything. So instead of buying boneless pieces, I'm gonna buy a whole chicken, usually.
Okay.
And then I'll
Whole
use,
chicken.
sometimes like the other day, my sister, she had a rotisserie chicken. I was like, save that, throw that in a pot. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be chicken you cook. You can just throw it up on there.
Throw it on in there, okay.
Sometimes like what I'll do is like if I want some kind of like teriyaki or some kind of stir fry kind of thing at home, I'll buy some chicken like this just so I can have the bone so I can save it in that freezer.
So is this
for that stock? So this is a whole, this is a breast, right?
Okay, yeah.
So we're gonna take
all the
this.
bones in there, everything. Go ahead.
And this is, like I said, like this is for the single cook. You know, you'll be asking me like, well, what do I cook? You know, this is a way for you to be able to use different things and have meals that last.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So you don't have to eat it all in night.
Yep.
All in one night. So
I'm with you.
we got bones, right?
Got
There's
the bones.
There's bones in all of these pieces. So if we were doing a class or something, I'd teach you how to debone the chicken.
It looks like they just took the breast and just chopped it in half and gave it. So bones in,
bones in. So it doesn't matter if you you go to the grocery store, whatever piece of chicken you like. This is something you can do. So you're gonna take it, and really, if you don't even know what you're doing, this is something possible for you. I promise, right? Take your knife and use it like a pencil. Right?
Okay. So
get on next to that bone and like act like you're right, and just go slow. You don't gotta be fancy. Trey was moving that knife, honey. I'm not going that fast.
you sure made that look easy, though.
Okay, but I'm just taking my time, though.
All right.
I'm not going fast.
And look, in the pot,
right? All of it. I'm reaching around. I'm saying, okay, do I got that bone? I got that bone. All right, so then now here we go. We're going to take it. I'm still using my knife like a pencil, right? I'm going to go down the side. And if you end up having extra meat on here, that's okay.
It's going to cook. It's going to add flavor.
It's going to be, like, bones are the best. That's the best. You know, you can take a little meat, but bones are the best. See, I'm just taking my knife and just slowly going against that bone, just so I can get off as much as possible.
So edge of the knife next to the bone, nice and slow. Use the tip like a pencil, and you can get right through there. And like Kristi said, nobody's in a hurry to get anywhere. Take your time.
Yeah, and if you're nervous, you know, it's okay. But understand that this is a skill you're going to be able to use really for the rest of your life, honestly. So you're going to take that
in the pot.
And all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on going until I get all these bones, because I want a nice, flavorful style. So I'm
looking at it. It looks like there's a little bit of cartilage. Is that going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's all going in the pot.
All going in the pot. My favorite pho of all time in the city is that pho bach on Rainier. Don't be mad at anybody. Yeah, it's pho bach, man. The whole family, dog. They're out here killing the game, right? So that thing I love about it is you can get all those different kind of pieces because they don't waste no meat. They don't waste nothing. You got the cartilage. You got all kind of stuff. Tripe up in there.
Yeah.
All of it.
I'm saying.
Okay, so here I'm going. I'm still with that pencil action.
You know, while you're doing that, you know, you're talking so much about community, and you and I have been like trying to raise up, you know, culinarians and just that didn't have a way, right? I mean, we went to, where did we go together? We went
to we went to
Go ahead.
Well, you got now. The first time y'all went to Florida without me, so I was mad about that. I was mad. But then we went to the Bahamas.
The Bahamas, I'm saying.
So
right?
what we're talking about right now is Culinary Wonders, and we Chef Wayne and I have been a part of Culinary Wonders that was started by Chef Erica Klein Dupree. So she got us all together after meeting us at Food is Art.
After Food is Art.
Right. And then we ended up going down and we went to the culinary school in the Bahamas and got to teach students, and it was amazing.
And this is what I love about it, the fact that we're doing the same thing as we're doing now.
Right.
We're just trying to lift them up. And I know some of those students, even today, I get emails from them. They
having
got their own
babies
places.
and starting their own businesses is so good.
So same thing, like what Chef Eduardo was talking about earlier with Muss.
Mm-hmm.
The mentorship of the youth is what we all have to wrap ourselves around. And I love the fact that you've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, you got to bring us back. I mean, like if you can't show the way, then what are you doing this for? You don't get into this industry for the money. You couldn't get into it for the fame, And so it's just like, okay, what will last is being able to teach someone else your craft. And it's just an amazing blessing to do so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm still
So
messing around with this chicken.
Off.
Took the bones. Now I'm taking the skin.
Now you're taking the skin off.
Now I'm not gonna lie. For me and my family, these are treats. I'm just spoiling this so I can eat it later because I'm just gonna eat the skin.
I've seen a lot of things done with skin too, right? I mean, I know we're putting it in here and we're doing the stuff. But I've actually seen it fried up.
I did a congee rice soup with some fried chicken skins. Baby, the people was looking at me like, what is that? I'm like, don't ask questions. Just go on and eat it. And you be all right.
All right.
All right, so we got the skin.
So we got stock, we got
skin
the skin
and bones, and we go on there. And now we got our little pieces of chicken. You like, was all that worth it? Was it worth all that? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Because again, I just told you, you're going to have this for the gumbo. Then you're going to have this for...
You're going to have stock for the gumbo. You're going to
days.
have extra stock to freeze. You're going to have... You can make soup later.
Yep.
You can make a sauce later.
Yep.
With chicken bits.
So you could just take it and then just make your ramen noodles with it. Your little packaged ramen noodles. I'm not going to put shame on anybody because you just, everybody has a different level of cooking they're at. But it's like you can still make it better. So right now, I'm just cutting this up. And the reason why I'm doing this early for two reasons. One, I wanted those bones and skin. And then now I'm about to season up this chicken so we can make it happen for this gumbo.
So
you want to know what
you're seasoning your pot.
I got
stock.
that. Mm-hmm.
Now you're seasoning your chicken.
Layers.
Look, I'm following you.
Flavor.
You're just like layers of flavor. You're like laying it in there.
Gotta do it. You gotta do it. One of the best things you said to me, Wayne, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I was like, it was after one night at Food is Art, and we were, I don't remember where we were, but I said, Wayne, you're like Papa Chef. And you're like, if you're Papa Chef, I'm Mama Chef. And that's, or, vice versa.
Vice versa, really.
But I appreciate that so much because so many times as Black chefs, we don't really have the time to be able to get to know each other because we didn't even know each other was out there.
We got 10, so let's get Rue and stuff going.
Oh, no. We get to talk and see. We get lost in time.
I know it.
All right. Here we go.
Kicked up over on the couch in a minute, just kicking it.
Okay. So, here's the magic of TV. You got your flour, right? But what you can do is you can put this in the oven overnight in a skillet. Let's do it. Hold on. I'm going to do it the other way.
Okay. You want a little heat?
No. Hold on. Wait. Yep, I want some heat.
A little heat.
I got some butter.
Got some butter.
I'm about to bust it out. This is because we need more time together.
Yeah, so when you do roux.
So we're going to get the roux going because we're going to melt this butter.
Okay.
And then once we get that butter melted, we're going to add this roux.
And roux, from what I understand, in a gumbo, it's like
paramount.
one of the most important things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm skipping and cheating a little bit, so
That's
I
right.
gotta come back over here.
Seasoning her chicken.
And this is me. Y'all, and people that in the kitchen with me know I'm gonna be doing about 4 or 5 things at one time.
I'm watching the butter. We got stock going.
We got the stock going. I took my spices. Cayenne.
Cayenne.
Paprika.
Paprika.
White pepper.
White pepper.
Oregano.
Oregano.
Thyme.
Thyme.
Black pepper.
Black pepper. Sounds
That's
some Cajun style, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Here
sure.
we go.
A little salt. We get that going. All right. So we're gonna keep that. And this is why that kind of stuff takes like a couple of days, right? Because you gotta
do it all.
Yep, you gotta do it in advance. So you wanna marinate your chicken. You can make your stock on one day. All right. Uh-oh, we got the butter going. Okay, now I'm about to give you, I'm gonna let you have at the.
Is that toasted flour? What is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I put this in the oven.
Okay.
And I just let it go. And then it just sit in a low oven for a long period of time.
So
I
can
know
we see
I
the
love
difference
it.
of that?
Isn't that so good?
You already know there's flavor in there. All right.
All right.
I'm stirring.
That's you. I'm putting you on that.
All right.
All right. Then.
And are we like almost equal parts flour and butter?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
You know, I don't gotta teach you stuff. I know y'all trying to learn. You're gonna have to sign up for a virtual cooking class if you want the whole thing. Oh, see. All right, so we're cutting up this onion. Yeah, Chef Trey. I don't know about you and that not slicing it. I gotta have the slices.
There you go. Hey, that's how we learn in every kitchen, every chef. They do it a little different.
So different. So here we go. We're getting this onion. We're getting our garlic, celery.
Look at that color.
Now, see, the good thing about doing it this way is that you don't have to stand over the stove because, some people making roux for hours. They stirring it.
No, and they say it should look like chocolate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're almost there already.
So here we go. You got that going.
Okay.
You feel like you got enough flour in there? I feel like you're looking good.
I think it's good, yeah.
Now, the thing is interesting. I haven't seen a gumbo without that little layer of fat kind of going on. So you don't want like your roux to be too thick because then that way you got to put a lot of liquid in there to soften out that flour.
Well, you got, your saffron. It's going to thicken it as well.
Yes.
You got things going on in here.
All right, so now we got our onions going.
We got celery going in there.
We got our celery going. Boop. All right. What do we got? Oh. I'm throwing in the pot.
See, I need this apron coming handy tonight.
Shout out to Tilt, one of the sponsors. That's nice. Love this stuff. It's super good quality.
Well, you got a beautiful pot here. Shout out to Abio. Killing it.
It's such a, I just want to, since we're doing all this shouting out and we talking about community and stuff, I just want to shout out Chef Eduardo, man. He came to town.
You cannot not shout him out.
He came to town. I met Eduardo at the university farmers market. I said, I'm like, who's this dude walking down the market in this chef coat? I don't know him.
Right.
And I was selling hummus because we make black eyed pea hummus and sell it at the restaurant. And so at that time, we were just in the farmer's market. I saw him. I was like, who's this dude? And then other people started telling me who he was. So I started looking him up.
Of course, we going to look up everybody coming into town, right?
Oh, my goodness. So I ended up kind of forcing my way. But the one thing I appreciate about him so much is this, what we're doing tonight. This is amazing.
It's amazing.
And I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
What else you got going on?
We got this, right? So we need our ladle. We're going to start making our little saucy sauce. Honestly, I'm just going to say gumbo is a seafood gravy.
All right. Here we go.
Would you agree that gumbo is a seafood gravy?
Yeah. I think, you have that, and some people even think it's more stewy, but it is absolutely. Like right now, what you got is a gravy going on.
It is. It is. So I'm getting it going.
Look at that. Amazing.
So good. And we ain't even done it for that long, but we're getting all that flavor in there.
Oh,
Layers of flavor.
I can smell it. It's
ridiculous.
Gorgeous. A color.
Mm-hmm.
Tightening up right now.
So we'll start it like this, right? I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because if you get it going too fast, then you'll end up overworking that flour. Keep going. Give me about 2, 3 more.
I got you.
All right, all right. Okay.
Even as shorter time as this is, you can see the color of the stock. Put that onion in there.
Yeah,
that color coming in, and yeah, it's amazing. Because we didn't cook the chicken at all, so it's not the chicken adding color, right?
No, not at all.
All right, we're getting there.
All right.
What we got going in here?
So, earlier.
I got you.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Earlier, I took the okra and I seasoned it up and we grilled it off. So this is gonna have a nice smoky flavor to it.
Now,
but
I'm seasoning on that too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Cajun.
Yes.
All the way through.
All the way through. Or Creole, depending on, which side of the fence you're from. I'm not gonna argue, folks. All right.
Perfect.
So we got our, and in a perfect world, I'd have about 4 or 5 pots up here.
We got 2, so let's do it.
Yep. I'd skillet it up, I'd fry this up, and then I'd put it in there.
Okay. And I've seen it done the other way too, where they just put it in because the flavor is just gonna. That's right.
You're gonna stew it overnight, then, or for a while, then you can do it.
All right, let's chicken it in.
All right, so we got a chicken. Rolling on up in here.
Yeah.
See, look, I might as well go on and throw it on.
Why not? Yeah, that's.
Bam, booyaka. All right. So I'm gonna let that go for a little while before I taste it, just so I know that chicken is done, right? A little bit more liquid. You can't go wrong. See, that's why you'd have to do the whole pot, because you never know.
And that's the great thing is you can continue to add and not take flavor away. Because if you don't have enough stock, you're gonna start adding water and then,
Mm-hmm. So we didn't get our peppers in here and we got to talking too much.
All right, well, let's get it in there.
Are we gonna get in there? We got time? Okay. If you say so.
We got 2 minutes to get everything in there.
I'm with you. So here we go.
We're gonna let it cook down.
We gotta be like the Caribbean. People have colors. I'm from Kansas City. I don't know about the color part, but so here we go. We're gonna get our little bell pepper business going on here. I'm not a green bell pepper lover. I like the colors. I'm with Trey.
The green could give a little bit more oomph to it, right?
You think so?
I think the sweeter, they start lightening up. You get a little bit sweeter.
All right. Well, I got you.
But I like the colors.
Okay. Well, we do it all. How about we do it all?
Like we said with Trey earlier, those Caribbean.
Okay, and the
beautiful colors going through.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that.
You didn't get to come. Did you? You didn't come with us to Tortola. Because I think you were getting married or something.
I did not get to do that,
Yeah.
so I had to go on my own.
Yes, you did. Show us up on your.
well, no, I guess it's kind of like the Jacksonville deal, right?
Oh,
so
yeah, okay.
You didn't get to go, so you went on your own.
Okay, yes. Yeah, so we're going to have to take up Trey and we're going to have to go do a tour or something.
We're going to get all the chefs together. We're going to make a big old trip somewhere.
It's time. We deserve a trip after this pandemic, honey.
Whew. What you say?
We'll get Eduardo to take us to Haiti.
Haiti, all right.
All right, so we got our bell peppers, we got everything, and the last thing you're gonna do.
I just want to say,
what?
Don't bash the host too much, man. We want to come back.
Look, I'm just trying to get some trips, get flued out.
All right. Now what we're going to hit it with.
All right, and this is the last thing. We're going to taste it, though. We need to taste it. Make sure it's all right, because you don't want to mess around and do all this work and then don't have enough salt in it.
It's bubbling. It's bubbling pretty good.
Oh, yeah, you got to throw some salt up in there.
All right.
Some
salt in there.
You could throw some salt, some hot sauce.
Oh, yeah.
A little Worcestershire.
I'm down with that.
You could throw some dried shrimp up in there. You can do it. Ariana, I'm going to do it.
So Chef Kristi did a nice little straightforward chicken gumbo tonight, but now she's throwing all these extra. You can throw a little shrimp in there.
Do that Laotian sausage and some shrimp, baby.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look. Shoot. Instantaneously have shrimp. Look at that.
We got shrimp.
Look at that. You see how that
And the shrimp went in.
Oh, bam. There you go. There you go. All right, so we got that.
All right.
And then the last thing we're going to do, we're going to let it sit with the filet.
The filet.
What's
Now,
filet, Chef?
This is going to tighten it up a little bit too, right?
It is. But it's going to deepen and enrichen that flavor. You know, that gumbo flavor.
The dried
And
leaves
honestly, I
of
love
the
you,
tree.
Chef. I'm going to tell you. You don't want to be messing around with that filet on that spoon.
All right.
The old ladies will get you for that one.
Here we go.
So we take it, we just put that filet on top of it. Give that
Here
on
you
the
go.
sides around. That's it. That's it. There, right there, right there.
I'm seeing you.
And then you let it sit.
Woo.
And then you just let it go.
That is gorgeous.
And honestly, like my son, he wouldn't let me eat this tonight. He said, you can have it tomorrow.
Right? As those flavors meld together,
Yep.
you know, I believe the same thing with soups too.
Oh, yeah.
The next day,
Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's beautiful. You know, man, y'all's camera makes this look
that
good.
is
huh?
really beautiful.
So good.
So folks, thank you so much. That's our show. That's our show. I want to have Chef Trey, I want to have Chef Eduardo come back in. And as we let this gumbo just simmer down, thank you all so much for coming in.
So good.
Where's the spoon, man?
Look.
Guys, give it up for these amazing chefs,
There you
Chef
go, there
Trey, Chef Kristi Brown, Chef Wayne. Please get out here and support these amazing chefs and establishments. These are just a few of our amazing chefs in this city. And the whole point of Soul of Seattle is to bring recognition and also awareness to what they are doing and who they are. This OG here, we call him the OG. This is
Yes,
real.
yes.
I've been following you since Ray's Boathouse, Renton. We're not going to talk about Renton a little bit. Renton. And yes, you and I did meet in the farmer's market. Who you? Come here. Come here. What's your name? Kristi Brown, y'all. So, guys, the Soul of Seattle would not be happening this year without our fiscal sponsor, Northwest Harvest. Northwest Harvest was established in 1967 when Seattle community leaders formed a social justice organization committed to addressing hunger. Little over 3 years ago, I had the pleasure, I should say, to forge a relationship with CEO Thomas Reynolds, where it became my personal mission to root out hunger with Northwest Harvest. So if you want to take a minute to stop right now, we're going to share a little story about Northwest Harvest.
I'm Thomas Reynolds, the CEO of Northwest Harvest. There's a lot of people hungry here in Washington State, and Northwest Harvest exists so that there can be equitable access to nutritious food for everyone here in Washington State. Hunger is really not a food problem, it's a fairness problem. Northwest Harvest works on justice, equity, fairness. We work in the policy areas, we work on distributing food, we really focus on fresh fruits and vegetables. We really want to see everyone in Washington State thrive, have the healthy foods that they need to feed themselves and their families, and have the opportunity to participate in Washington State. I really believe in the idea of Soul of Seattle. This year, especially during COVID-19, we have seen an extraordinary number of small businesses lost. I hope not lost forever. The vast majority of BIPOC-led small businesses have really struggled or have lost the chance to operate. The Soul of Seattle creates the opportunity for Black, Indigenous, and people of color-led restaurants to participate, to bring awareness to the work that they're doing, to celebrate what they are contributing to community, and I think that's really important. With the absence of Black and Indigenous and people of color-run restaurants, Seattle would be essentially flavorless. The Soul of Seattle brings about awareness to the greatness of these restaurants and the meaningfulness of them on our community. Eduardo and I got together first over a cup of coffee. We just exchanged ideas on what we thought Seattle should be like. We talked about food, we talked about fairness, we talked about justice, and we realized that we wanted to create meaningful opportunities for all of the people in Seattle and the Seattle area to engage in making Washington a more fair place to be. 42% of families who are people of color are experiencing food insecurity this year. Across Washington State, Northwest Harvest is rushing fresh fruits and vegetables, healthy proteins, grains, the things that people need to thrive. You know, that's a really key focus of our work this year. We're also working on policy. In about 170 countries around the world, food as a right exists, is codified into law and constitution. That's not true here in the United States. Northwest Harvest is working on making sure food is a right so that everyone can participate in acquiring the nutritious food that they need to thrive. Soul of Seattle has far surpassed my expectations. It's been a brilliant time to celebrate food, culture, community, and fairness. Let me just say, you have one more chance to give to the Soul of Seattle to help sure that great food is celebrated, restaurants are filled, and the community and community members are able to realize their dreams as they think about the way forward. Won't you give today?
All right, guys, I want to give a big thank you to our sponsors who have been so generous with their financial contributions and supporting our great cause. Thank you also to our second-year key sponsors, the Satterberg Foundation, whose mission is to strengthen our communities by promoting a just society and a sustainable environment, and Amazon, who is working to foster equity, inclusion, and opportunities for communities of color and small businesses. Now, please get to our website and support our other sponsors who have been great contributors to our events this month. So there's other ways that you guys can support the Soul of Seattle. We have our beautiful website. You can go to the shop area where you can check out our wine box that we curated with urban connoisseurs. We also have a chef collection of goodies featuring these amazing chefs and other chefs and organizations and businesses around the city with non-perishable items that you can enjoy and can be shipped out all across the nation. Going back to our Black-owned wine box, we have a beautiful curated wine box, over 6 different wines of Black-owned wineries or Black winemakers here in the States that we're featuring. We also have the Intentionless Voucher Book, which you can purchase and use at various locations around the city that are supporting the Soul of Seattle and supporting these amazing chefs here. And then also we have more items that you can purchase on our website: T-shirts, mugs, pins, all our little goodies that are featured throughout the month, plus more, okay? I really want to thank you guys for joining us this evening. We have a stellar event planned for next week. Next week is our last week. We're going to have special host DJ Top Spin as our host DJ for the evening. And our very special guest and our friend DJ Questlove will be spinning on the one and twos, giving us a history lesson of music that evening. So you guys, please get out there and support. Remember, our auction is closing in about an hour. So get out there and outbid me, because I put a couple bids in there that I need to get off of there real quick. Help a brother out, please. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. We would not be here without you guys, the support of our sponsors, and these amazing people that we are featuring this evening and throughout the year. Please get out there and support them. Belltown, CD on Union and 23rd, and Chef Wayne, 2 million meals?
2.5 million,
2.5 and going. Food insecurities aren't stopping, guys. We have to get out there.
Absolutely.
Chef, I want to thank you myself and on behalf of all the chefs that are part of Soul of Seattle and the ones that didn't make it this year but were a part of it last year as well.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
We're doing this for the community, guys. We need your support. Small businesses are suffering. Pandemic did not help it out in any manner. Get out there and show your love. Support these businesses. These are the fabric of our communities. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you next week. Get out there and get your tickets. We will sell out. I promise you that.
Yes, thank you.